Holy shit. If Saturday morning cartoons fueled your imagination as a kid and powers your action figure collecting now as an adult, then you're in the right place. Thanks for stopping by, and welcome to Saturday Morning Toy Collector. And if you like my content, please consider subscribing. Over the past year, Articulated Empire has become your trusted online retailer. They carry all the latest lines like Mythic Legions, Valaverse, AWOC, Zesray Studios, and much, much more. They ship your items quickly and securely. You'll be quite happy with how Steve and his team follow through with their care and attention. Articulated Empire also offers free shipping over $75 and no tax except for Illinois residents. So head over to articulatedempire.com today and build your empire. Ooh, boy, I'm gonna have to sit up for this one. Have you guys seen this Masters of the Universe trailer? Holy crap. Now, I'm gonna go ahead and go on record as saying when I saw the initial paparazzi photos of Adam being arrested in New York or some big city, and like one of the police officers had like the power sword and they're putting him in the back of the squad car. I'm like, I'm out. Like, I have PTSD over the 80s He-Man movie where it starts like on Earth in like the parking lot of like a chicken restaurant. Like, I don't understand the connection or the need to have these fantastical stories have a connection to Earth. I know in the original, I don't know if it was in the original mini comic or whatever, that Marlena was from Earth and was an astronaut and like went through a wormhole or something and wound up in outer space next to Eternia, but she lands on Eternia and then falls in love with Randor and they have a kid and it's Adam and blah, blah, blah. Anyway, I just don't need a connection to Earth. When I saw these pictures, I'm like, I'm out. Like this, there's no way. Now, of course, this was also, I should have, trusted in Travis Knight. I mean, he is, the head of Leica Studios. He's, knows his way around stop motion animation. He made probably my favorite of all of the Transformers movies, Bumblebee, and just gets the 80s aesthetic. I mean, just think of the opening like 10 minutes of Bumblebee, right? Like, or 7 minutes, whatever it was, on Cybertron, full on Cybertron. All the Transformers are there. They look like themselves, like, holy crap. But when I saw these first initial pictures, I was like, yeah, I don't want another He-Man movie set on Earth. But good God almighty, the He-Man trailer is out and we're about to talk about it. We're about to break it down. So let's just get right into it. Now, there's not going to be any audio because I don't want to, get flagged for anything. But, we're going to kind of just go through it best we can. We have this establishing shot of what looks to be Eternia. We have what looks to be like Soar sort of flying through the, over the castles here. We see a beautiful shot of Castle Grayskull looking fantastic. Then we have the shot of what appears to be, what looks to me like possibly the Talon fighter, because it's a ship that looks like a bird. So I'm just going to say that that's what that looks like. Then we have like this antechamber, or this chamber that is holding the power sword. Power sword looking really good. I really like the way it looks. I kind of do wish it had like a bigger pommel on the end, but I'm not going to be a stickler. I mean, this is He-Man's sword all day long, looking great here. Then we have Soar again, flying through some statues of maybe past kings. Then we have a little shot of little Adam here, which is what I'm assuming, and it kind of seems like Marlena sent him to Earth because he was, some sort of either she knew he was sort of like a chosen one, or maybe maybe it's Keldor or something is coming to get him or coming to attack the city or something like that, and she sends him away to keep him safe. But we see like this big battle. This is probably where the threat comes from, that people are trying to get into Castle Grayskull. And this is clearly Marlena is scared for Adam's life. And so she goes to maybe a portal somewhere to send him away. Now, in this shot right here of them running, if you zoom in really close, this is a very far back establishing shot of this bridge, and it looks like a map on the floor. So this is clearly like some sort of portal that she's going to take him to. There are 3 individuals running on this bridge. You can clearly make out the shape of what seems to be Marlena and Adam, and then there's another person with them kind of moving along. I'm getting some pinkish purplish tones in there, and I'm getting a long trailing purple thing. I think my guess is that this is Orko. It does look like Orko is running instead of floating, but maybe Orko's knees are like moving under his cloak. I don't know. I'm going to go out and say that this is Orko. They probably didn't remove him from this shot because it's so far away. It's hard to tell what it is, but clearly there is somebody moving along with the 2 of them. And wouldn't it be great if it was Orko? He's been there from the past. He knows everything that's going on. In this shot right here, Orko, of course, not present. It's a continuation of that same shot. Now it looks like Adam has probably moved around Marlena into the middle. If you look just to the left, blink and you'll miss it, but there is the sorceress who we're going to be taking a look at the IMDb page here in just a few minutes at the cast, but it does say Marina Bakarin is playing the sorceress, which is great. I love her and everything she's in. I've loved her since Firefly. Then we get this shot of New York, and I really like the use of the pronouns here, the he, him, because it gives a little nod to he/man. That's pretty funny use of that. I'm sure the maggots are going to get triggered, but that's okay. Poor snowflakes, bless them. He-Man clearly had a dead-end job. This lady is, questioning his search history, and it looks like he's been searching for this sword that's probably stuck in his mind, and he's been remembering it for a long time now. On military time, check that out, 1604. That's kind of a little weird thing. This was something that I picked up on yesterday when the teaser dropped, is that the shot of Adam here that we saw in the teaser trailer viewing what clearly is his sword, but in the teaser trailer yesterday, the reverse shot of this was it in the chamber in Castle Grayskull. Because I was like, okay, that's 2 different locations. He's clearly not looking at it. But this is kind of cool. You see it in the hands of this big statue, this warrior statue. Funny little, I'm not going to, a little smash cut to him, like grabbing the sword. Kind of funny. Big Jim, sports camper in the back. Another nod to 80s, 70s, late 70s, early 80s toys. But this shot right here, very important, because some of my friends were talking, maybe this is Vicor. I think this is Torak. So if you look in the background, a lot of this is out of focus, but it does look like you can, if you zoom in, you can make out the words Torak. And if you look in the cases and on top of the cases, you see this barbarian, gladiator, caveman / warrior. It looks very much like the character there that he's trying to get the sword from. And if you don't know, Torak, T-O-R-A-K, was the original name for the caveman gladiator character that Mark Taylor originally created that eventually became He-Man. Torak being a play on Mark Taylor. All the letters are there. Because unlike me, he spells it with a K and not the proper way with a C. But if you want to say this is Vicor, that's fine. I think this is clearly in the Torak section of this comic book store or memorabilia store. So we're going to go with, here at this channel, we're going with Torak. He's trying to get the sword out. She's like, you can't do it. And he's like, don't worry about it. It's my sword. Clearly, this is where the police are called. He's arrested, sword taken. And then we get back to, Castle Grayskull here this summer. Discover your true power. We have the sorceress here in that Grayskull chamber. Castle Grayskull, or, some allusion to it there in the background. Teela has him in a ship and she's portaling him away. She's hitting warp speed. You never hit warp speed in Atmosphere. Don't tell me what I can do until after I've done it. And they leave New York, but I don't think this is the last time we're going to see New York. We're coming back. Then here we have an establishing shot of them landing on Eternia. We have a beautiful heroic shot here of Roboto. weirdly enough, voiced by a woman, and we're going to get to that, a woman you know. We have Man at Arms, Idris Elba as Man at Arms, Tila, and then Cringer looking really good. Loving the colors here. This is great. Then we have this shot of them going in. More close-up shot here. Cringer doesn't look very scary. I mean, he doesn't look very afraid, is what I'm trying to say. He looks like he's capable, you know? I don't know if they're going to go with the cowardly lion act or not. We'll see. He looks pretty fearsome as it is. We have some sort of... I'm going to say this is probably like a bad guy's ship, you know, or I've seen people already speculating that this is like the, what was the spinning blade thing? The Rotor, or was that Rotor was a character? Whatever that thing was called, that could potentially be what that is. Another shot of Idris Elba's Man at Arms, and then we have some more like good guy, bad guy ships going on here. Castle Grayskull, some sort of arena. Now this shot is really good because there's a lot of little Easter eggs here. There's a lot of little things here to break down. So we definitely see Man at Arms, Prince Adam, Tila, and then if you look just behind Tila, that's Ram Man. Don't know who the girl is next to Ram Man, but behind them, clearly the green-eyed goggles of Mechanic. That's fantastic. If you look even further behind them to the left, those dragon skulls surprisingly look a lot like the Bone Carrier, which is pretty crazy. They could even be walking through, like they're even walking through the ribcage. This is a great shot. This is why I completely trust in Travis Knight, because like he's putting in some stuff here. This is great. Just to the right of Man at Arms, you see Fisto. Then there's somebody with some baggy pants behind him and a helmet. I don't know who that is. There's a couple of other people back there. I hope they give us sky's the limit. That's it. Look, there's so many great characters. Put them all in there. We're here for it. Close-up shot of our heroes here. This is amazing. Speaking of the Bone Carrier, look what we have here. That's Skeletor's The Collector. I mean, they're not pulling punches here. Like, that is Skeletor's ship, The Collector, which is crazy. Then we have a nice little shot. Now, this is a great shot because this is a very telling shot here. Because if you watch this shot in real time, or you kind of like slow it down a little bit and go back and watch it a few times, you will notice that you will see a little bit of his brow furrow, and the kind of bridge of his nose kind of go up a little bit. So this skeleton face is going to be mobile. It is going to be movable the way that Deadpool's eyes are digital and they move around and the face kind of moves and undulates. So I don't think we're going to get, you know, like we may not get that static. Like we may actually get the teeth and like some deforming happening of the bone. I love that. That's cartoon accurate. You know, that's great. That's what we want. They're not taking it so seriously that they can't make him emote while he's just a bone face. Brilliant move. I love it. Looking great. Then we have a quick shot of the power sword and Spikor spiking out. Like that looks fantastic. Here we have Fisto powering up his glove, ready to knock the mess out of some of Skeletor's warriors here. Looking great. Then we have another shot of He-Man here, or Prince Adam. And if you look in the distance, right here, if you look in the distance, you can see there is Trap Jaw standing right there. And we know that in just a minute on this same little bridge area, this may be the very first time that Prince Adam transforms into He-Man. He's probably been told at this moment, like what to do. But there's Trap Jaw, good look at Trap Jaw. And then here's where I said we're going back to New York, because at some point, clearly the portal opens and these creatures come back to New York, and we have Beastman fully digital here, you know, landing on this cop car, jumping to another one. Here's the thing. We need to spend as much time as possible in Eternia. Like, I understand, like, you know, I've heard the argument, well, you know, they have to spend a lot of time on Earth because it saves money on visual effects. Listen, in this particular shot, they probably did shoot it, you know, on a soundstage outside to get that sunlit lighting and everything. But they're doing city replacement, road replacement, removing traffic, removing signs of people or businesses that are not sponsors of the movie. paying sponsors. Like they're doing so much digital effect work anyway. Like I don't need them coming back to Earth to save money. Like the saving money part, really, does it save that much money? Really? Like I don't need to spend, like I don't want to spend even 50% of the time of this movie on Earth. This needs to be 10-90 ratio. 10% on Earth. If you have to tie it to Earth somehow, maybe up the stakes for Adam, like, oh, they're going to show up and take over Earth, whatever. And then Adam comes back we don't need that. Like he's there to defend Eternia. Keep it on Eternia. Okay. Then we have a shot of what looks to be Adam maybe returning to his mother. Like this is Marlena here is what I'm guessing. Randor is in the movie. He's on the IMDb list, cast list, but just not shown in the trailer. She looks dirty. So maybe she's been held captive for a long time in a prison somewhere and he's saved her. We have a shot of Teela fighting Evil Lynn, played by Alison Brie. Love her and everything she's in. There we have Battle Cat, or, this is what I'm talking about. Like, is this going to be Battle Cat without the helmet? Surely we're going to get the helmet, right? But doesn't look like Cringer's too scared right there. Then we have Man at Arms leaping and thrusting, coming at the Collector, which, by the way, has different. In the establishing shot, the Collector had claws. Now it has like some sort of blaster. So it looks like we're going to see some interchangeability with the weaponry on the Collector. We see He-Man becoming He-Man for the very first time and his power knocking everybody out. This looks fantastic. And then some shots of him pretty much dispatching, which this looks like it's inside of Snake Mountain. You can see the fangs in the back, dispatching some of Skeletor's bad guys. And then you have the Masters of the Universe logo, an establishing shot of Snake Mountain, somebody else standing next to Skeletor right there. And then this is probably a shot from like a different part of the movie, but as you can see, deep cut to the left, Goatman. I didn't know who that was. I had to ask my friends. My buddy Omar jumped in there and said Goatman. If you don't know who Goatman is, that's a deep cut character. Came from the mini comics. It did have an action figure in the classics line, and I do believe he showed up briefly as like a cameo or something in the new Masters of the Universe Revolution TV show on Netflix. Nice shot of Skeletor. Then some shots of Skeletor and He-Man fighting here, and in theaters June 5th. Now I have to live long enough to see that. But I got to tell you, man, there is just some fantastic Easter eggs in this trailer. Now let's talk about that cast list from what is available on the cast list on IMDb. We see Morena Baccarin playing the Sorceress, Idris Elba as Man at Arms, Jared Leto as the Joker. I wonder if we're going to see him as Keldor. I think that'd be kind of cool. He already kind of looks like Jared Leto already kind of looks like Keldor, so that would work. Alison Brie's Evil Lynn, Kristen Wiig, there you go, for the voice of Roboto. Isn't that wild? Nicholas, still don't know how to say this guy's name, Galitzine. I'm not familiar with this guy playing Prince Adam and He-Man. James Purefoy playing King Randor, always good. Charlotte Riley is Queen Marlena. Camila Mendez as Teela. And then I'm not even going to try to pronounce this, but Goatman is going to be played by The Mountain from Game of Thrones. And then Malcolm Fisto, another guy, I'm not going to try to pronounce his name. Sashir Zamata playing Susie. Is that like a Earth character? Max Krause, Officer T. Black, Kodo Ata as Triclops, so we know Triclops is going to be in the movie. Didn't see him. Sam Wilson as Trapjaw, Erie Farrell as young Teela, so we're going to get a flashback probably when Adam was really young. James Wilkinson as Mechanic, so we know he is in there. John Zhu Zhang as Ram-Man, Artie Wilkinson Hunt, young Prince Adam, and then Stephen Adentan as Mossman. And then Christian Vunapola as Hussein, don't know who that is, and then Aaron Bassi as Pig Boy. But listen, that's just what they have up currently. We know sometimes they don't put the full, spoilery list in there of people who are going to be in the movie. But man, this is just fantastic. This looks way, way, way better than it has any right to be. Now I do know I'm going to have to temper my expectations. It still could be complete garbage, but I just think, look, just from this alone, I feel like they've gotten so much correct. The color seems to be there, the bright, vibrant colors of the 80s. The way they even set up the teaser yesterday with the TV and the VCR, and like, this is what workouts look like, and this is what, like all of the old 80s nostalgia zooming in on the TV, which, hey, doesn't that look familiar? From my opening, like, already so much of this is correct that if this movie, honestly, if it's not any better than this trailer, and by the way, I'd like to point out, this trailer is listed as an official teaser trailer. This is not even the full trailer. They've already gotten so much right that it literally could be phoned in from here and I would be happy. Like, this looks way better than I thought it was going to turn out. And I am super excited. But you guys let me know in the comments down below, did I miss anything? Are there little Easter eggs? There's information I got wrong? Is there something you saw that I didn't? Fill in the gaps for me in the comments down below. And also tell me if you're excited about this. Does this make you excited to see the movie? You're going to go see it in a theater on a big screen? You're going to wait for the streaming? What are you going to do? What are your plans? I'm going to get as many of my buddies as I can together here in town, and we're all going to go. I want to go have a blast. Be a kid again. I'll be 50 years old watching this and just giggling like a little boy. I'm so excited. So be sure to check out our podcast called Across the Toyverse. Comes out every 2 weeks. Episode 12 is up right now. Wherever you download your podcast, be sure to check us out over at Instagram at Saturday Morning Toy Collector. I am your Saturday Morning Toy Collector, Mark, and I will see you in the theaters watching this movie.